Good afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. This is Newsfeed on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. The National Economic and Development Authority backs the total ban on Philippine offshore gaming operators, or POGOs. The NEDA says removing the industry will have little impact on the economy. Agatha Gregorio tells us more.
Less than 0.5%. That's how much Philippine offshore gaming operators contribute to the economy, according to the National Economic and Development Authority.
That's how small it is. Less than 1/2%. If you compare that with the potential gains that we get from, say, if you have an environment, a social environment that's not associated with crimes, with all this reputational risk, we could actually the gains of the economy could be much higher.
NEDA Secretary Arsenio Balisacan says the gross domestic product could be cut by 0.5 to 0.8% should China choose to ban travel of Chinese tourists to the Philippines due to links to POGOs. At the same public hearing on the state of the economy, Balisacan said that food inflation declined to 6.5% in June from 8% in 2023. Things are also looking up for the job market as the unemployment rate was at 4.6% in 2023, lower than the target of 5.3 to 6.4%. However, the country's debt is expected to increase by over 2 trillion pesos in 2025, with a projection of more than 17 trillion due to budget deficit. But for the Finance Department, the national government debt remains sustainable and will decrease by more than 3 percentage points in 2028.
The benchmark for developing countries like us is something like 70%, no?
70,
of GDP. So we are quite way below the radar. That's why IMF is not looking at us, because we're in good,
We have good fiscal management, I should say.
Senator Mig Zubiri also moved to have a technical working group to consolidate bills meant to streamline the tasks of the government's economic planning agency. Agatha Gregorio, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
The province of Cavite has declared a state of calamity in its coastal towns Bacoor, Kawit, Noveleta, Rosario, Tanza, Naik, Maragondon, and Ternate. Cavite Governor John Rick Remulla says these areas are now affected by the oil spill from the sunken MT Terra Nova in Limay, Bataan. Remulla received reports that bunker fuel settled on the seabed, affecting the shellfish industry. A no-catch, no-sell zone will be in place in those said areas. For now, responders are using dishwashing detergent to wash off the oil, but authorities are coordinating with the Coast Guard for proper oil dispersants. Remulla adds around 25,000 relief packs are also scheduled to be released for affected fisherfolks. As the Philippine Coast Guard continues to assure the public that the Limay oil spill has already been contained and poses no further threat, Greenpeace Philippines monitored that the spill has already reached Manila Bay off Roxas Boulevard, as shown in these photos taken by Greenpeace yesterday. Joining us now on the line is Khevin Yu, climate campaigner of Greenpeace Philippines. Hi, Kevin. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miles. Thank you for having us.
What is the real situation now based on your monitoring?
Yeah, so yesterday we were actually monitoring the forecast provided by the Marine Science Institute, which they stated with their data that the coastline of Cavite and including Manila Bay will have oil reach their shoreline. So we were on standby the whole day yesterday, and then we were able to see some possible images of oil-looking substance in some parts of Manila Bay and in Cavite.
Yeah,
so,
we can see the images right now.
These images needs to be confirmed, of course, through proper water testing, and we call on the LGs to have proper safety protocols for the residents in Manila.
Right. What is the extent then of the oil spill's effect in Manila Bay?
As of now, there's no we only seen the images in those areas, particularly in Manila Bay and in Navotas, and now we have seen actual accounts on the cities and provinces in Cavite, where that's why it's probably the cause of the state of calamity in that area. But the coastline needs to be closely monitored as of the moment because the data has been suggesting that this will continue in the next few days.
Yes. Has Greenpeace Philippines talked to the people on the ground and the residents themselves who are affected, and what are they saying?
Yeah, so when we were there 2 days ago in Cavite, mostly the community there are fisher folks, so they are worried about the possible fish ban in their area, and also the possible impact on the fish catch that they will acquire in the next few days, because a possible fish ban will, of course, impede them from continuing with their livelihood. And of course, we also learned that guidance in terms of responding to oil spills have not been yet provided by the LG. So they don't know what to do. So that is why it is important that the people are informed in those locations.
So, Kevin, from the coastal towns of Cavite to possibly off Manila Bay, where is this oil slick headed? Have you consulted experts on their projections, and what is their assessment?
So, Miles, currently what we have right now that is publicly accessible is the data from the Marine Science Institute. So it seems that the forecast has some delay in effect in terms of its arrival in Manila Bay. So like yesterday, it was expected to arrive around 1 a.m. based on those, their research, but there's still no solid sightings in the area. But in Cavite, it's really quite clear that there are some sightings already. But so we need to wait for further data to be provided, and we hope that water testing is already done, because that's something that would really confirm, no? If the images that we've seen in Manila Bay and in Navotas are indeed oil that came from MV Terra Nova. So, but what we know right now is that the water testing is only done in Bataan, in Limay. So data were already provided, which triggered them to issue a fish ban, because it's beyond safety levels, especially in parts of Limay,
Yes.
Bataan. But in Cavite and in Manila Bay, we don't know. We still don't have those information.
Right.
So I think it's one of the things that needs to be done by PCG, the LGU, of course, DNR as well, and including DOH.
Right. Okay, thank you for your time, Kevin. Thanks for talking to us. That was Khevin Yu, climate campaigner of Greenpeace Philippines. World News Now: protests grip Venezuela as anger grows over disputed election results. Nicolas Maduro continues to claim victory in the polls despite growing evidence of a resounding win for the opposition. Demonstrators are calling for transparency and for Maduro to acknowledge he lost in the elections. Meanwhile, Venezuelan authorities continue their relentless crackdown on anti-government protests. Over 700 demonstrators have so far been arrested, and the number is only expected to rise. Videos also show police firing tear gas at civilians. A human rights group says at least 8 have been killed in the unrest. Over in the UK, a third child dies following Monday's knife attack in Southport. The latest fatality, a 9-year-old girl. The first 2 victims were also girls aged 6 and 7. The British police has released photographs of the victims in what's considered as one of the worst assaults on children in the UK in decades. Authorities have yet to give any details about the 17-year-old suspect who's now in custody. The stabbing took place at a Taylor Swift-themed dance workshop. On Instagram, the global pop superstar said she's in complete shock over the loss of life and innocence. And those are the news this hour. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Stay tuned to Bilyonaryo News Channel for more top-of-the-hour news. Catch us on Free TV Channel 31 and also on our website, bnc.ph. Bilyonaryo News Channel, always on top.